We are for the top-up show. It's Saturday. It's a bit chilly, as you can tell. Three old blokes wrapped up in
rotten wool,
cheap clothing and doing their best. Not a lot of wind about today, Mark, and not a lot of precipitation at this stage.
No, but Paul would like to talk about the wind because obviously it could have a factor on if it gets up. I think it was forecast to be about 25 k's at 3 o'clock. So if it were to get up, Paul, what are we suggesting?
If it does, then I'm saying that leaders are going to be disadvantaged because it's going to be hitting them straight in the face in the back straight.
And in the shoot start as well.
And rails in run may not be a problem. In fact, it might be ideal because they'll have cover. But in the straight, I'm just a little bit against being hard fenced at this stage.
So basically, we've all got no idea.
We've all got no idea.
Okay, so that's cleared up.
And they're saying that 90% chance of showers during the day. And that can really change things, as you know. Puts lots of zeros on the wheel. So whatever we say here, it's
going to be a tricky
day. As it stands, right here and now, I want to be on a leader.
Okay.
Yeah, as it stands right now, that's the way I'm probably leading too. But.
I noticed on the preview show yesterday, Mark, which we do a preview show on Fridays, our two best bets, Seaway and Noir, Mr. Waller, both scratched. Well done, Mr. Waller. Looks after us, all us punters.
He does indeed. And he's got no impact in race one. It's a 2-year-old race. Galena is 5-2 into 7-4. Ronstar's 9-2 into 7-2. So what are they saying there? Snowden favourite and leader. Maybe it won't lead Ronstar. And the others have blown. No great interest in the millionaire debutante. Paul, will you be playing this race?
Probably not, Mark. I've got Irish bet equal with Ronstar, but Ronstar's not going to get the easy lead today like it got last time, so that worries me a bit through it. And Galena won in slow time, and it did a very stylish job and will be charging late, but had no luck in that run. But
key to the race for me, boys, is number one there, Mounting Yard Mail all day for me.
I'd say so.
If it's near its
you
top,
and Rick together.
Who's Rick? Oh yes, yeah, me and Rick O'Shea and Ty Anglin. What a threesome, the three of us.
Yes, anniversary day for Ty 2 years ago, this meeting. Race 2, Gresham is solid. It's 2-1 into 7-4. Reflectivity, Gord's tip is 11-2 into 4s. And Chalmers is 14 into 9. I guess what's that saying is that Sparky Lad at 7-2 couldn't hold water there. So I'm not sure if there's... I suppose, Gresham is reasonably tight at the moment. Can he get shorter, Glenn?
I think he's at his mark now, but I do think he's the winner.
Paul, what...
Got him favourite, but much longer than the market, so probably closer to 11-4. Reflectivity, I can sort of entertain that. It's deep into its preparation, but it did go a little too quick the other day and has a nice riding switch there. So I could entertain it. Sparky Lad's the one I'd be against. Came in the best part of the track and sort of just boxed on the other day, so...
Yeah, curious race. Race 3, the other 3-year-old, 1,200 metres. Easy Eddie shaved 9 into 7-1, and Dawn.
Because of you.
Only because of me, yeah. Dawn is actually the morning firmer. It's 9-1 into 6-1. Gate 1, Robert Thompson. Go, Robert. Brabinger is thereabouts. Charlene hasn't really had any fans this morning. I guess we'll have a fair clue by race 3 about which way to play, and I suppose the two firmers at the moment are the leader and Gate 1. Does that help us?
I think the leader's to go there, Easy Eddie. I think $7 is still a very acceptable price. Stable flying, going to get control, and be in the finish for sure.
Paul, what are we saying here?
I think I've got Easy Eddie much longer. Look, it's not a great race to bet in, but one at odds here, Star Sensation. I'm pretty keen to make it a really good result.
Third up back in distance, ridden up upside down the other day.
I've been tipping it every start. Did you know that, Paul? Like from the
no.
Yeah, and I haven't been.
You tipped on the previous show as well.
I think the 14 back to 12 actually helps it.
Yeah, it's a stable you want to be involved with, and you're going to get odds.
Yeah, I'm going to be making it a really good result.
Yeah, $19.
What if you marked at
$19 at the moment?
You don't want to say. Okay, so. I'm telling you, Paul is probably marked at 13-2, but he said nothing. I just reckon that's his range.
Okay, the highway, Hamel is Hamel is a firmer, $3.70 into $2.90, and Andy's a Star off the Parks run is $10 into $6. What do we make of? I suppose Hamel presents well enough. What do we make of the other firmer? Andy's a Star.
Well, yeah, not for me.
I Blinker's first time 12-14, not ideal for me. About 12-1 hit. So
yeah, have you got a play here, Paul?
Look, I don't really like the race, but the one I've been hard on because it is backing distance and deep into its preparation, but it's going extremely well, is Foxdown. It's not hopeless, and I might end up having something on it.
All right, so it's a key player for you there. And we move on to one of the features, the 1800 metre error mine, and Glenn's zeroed in on black on gold on the previous show, and it's $16 into 12, and Louboutin, the leader, the lure, is $17 into 11.
I tipped the two runners in the show. They were my two points of interest. I thought black on gold, Cathy off, going to James McDonald. You won't get a bigger riding change in Sydney racing than that. And Louboutin getting control up front with Van Dam, Jean Van Overmeer. Looks to it could kick off the bend.
So, Paul, have you got where do you stand on this favourite, who's a vexatious favourite? He's put in 2 enormous runs this preparation, but he's left punters cold for a long time now.
Got it 4-1 favourite, been as kind as I possibly can.
Who is the favourite?
New Tipperary.
New
Tipperary, okay.
Obviously, everyone saw the fact that it never got clear at all last start, and it hasn't been ridden as well as it can. And look, it's a deserved top pick, but 4-1 is absolute rock bottom for me.
All right. So is there somewhere?
There's a number of other chances in the race. You go plan. What do you do with that last start?
Don't know what you do with it.
You just totally forgive it. If you do totally forgive it, it's a contender. I've got it 9-2, second pick. Dagny,
still not getting a bet.
Dagny, I've got it 9-2. It's unders. 13-2 etymology and just a maybe. Sayad's got a difficult gate. Look, I'd probably just stay out of this race.
Yeah, it sounds like you're staying out. As Harper's Choice is a change of tactics to be ridden more forward from the inside draw there. The Horrid Mares race, and La Chica Bella Cathy on is $6.50 into $5.50 in a race of not much market interest. Can we play this race? I think you were saying this is a horror, Glenn.
I'm passing, guys. Mounting Yard Mail only for me there.
Something to say there, Paul?
If there was support for sharpness, it's got a terrible gate and it's going to be wide, probably with cover. So if they can track up wide and you can sit wide today, then it's one I could entertain at odds.
Wow.
Only if there was betting support.
So you've tipped it. Gord's tipped it. I remember taking 20s at Hawkesbury in a Class 1 and it falling in.
Well, it ran on against the pattern the other day.
It's funny how you get left with that poison thought about a horse.
It is, isn't it? It is.
But the 1400 is a bit of a query too. So there's a lot of things against it. But at $8 or $10 or something around that nature, it's possible, but only maybe.
Now, Waller's done a dipsy doodle on us in race 7. He's scratched Seaway, leaving I Am Serious 10-9. And the movers in the race are the on-pace runners in Tueri, who is back from 1600 but didn't really get a crack at them the other day, and Nat King Koo, who looks the likely leader. So they're the firmers in the early morning market, because I guess the question mark is, how will the favourite be ridden? Will it be ridden like it was the other day? In a fast run race, it got back 3 wide and just mowed them down.
Today gets back 3 wide, maybe not as much pace.
Right, so where do we go in this race, Paul? Like the favourite's got obvious issues there, so where do we hang our hat?
Yeah, well, I got the favourite much longer. I'm probably 7-4. Medali is one that interests me if there was support for it.
Why does it need support? What are you saying there?
I want to see support for it just because it's done a few things wrong, but it is fitter and it gets a really good jockey switch. I'd want to see support just to beat that favourite, that's all. And I could chime in because I've got it shorter than the current market. And Monasterio, who, look, I know he is one of those horses, and he ran a new peak last time, so he's likely to regress. But he ran on that day against the pattern with Walkley's Bay, and we just saw how much money Walkley's Bay.
Yeah, it's an interesting insight.
That form line, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a horse that's targeted.
The penultimate, the second last.
Yes, and we've lost Noir, who was the early favourite. First hand, no Robert to go round. Special Missile and Crafty Cop dominate the betting at this stage. Perhaps Special Missile is a little bit more flavoursome than Crafty Cop this morning. I think you've got Special Missile in the wheelchair, Glenn, but Paul, you want to say something else?
A lot of the percentage of the races come out now with Noir out. I think Crafty Crop, sets up well there, and I thought Passage of Time gets a nice run.
Yes, a little tightening there on Passage of Time. Special Missile, Paul, you're fan today?
I like it, but I'd like to see a better price than what it is currently.
420 is not good enough?
I'd like to see more.
You always want a little bit more, Paul.
I know.
Girls say that to me, but that's another story.
Well, you got to actually
accommodate.
Accommodate.
Okay.
Right, now the nightcap, and Gord will be pleased to hear that Highly Geared's come out, which should mean Nick Tock getting an uncontested lead. Difficult to get, probably sitting on him. Top striker handy to the speed. Not much action this morning. Top striker $11 into 8 is the only firm of substance I could find. Paul, can you play this race? A couple
Maybe
of key
Ozark.
resumers here, and Ozark.
Maybe
I was Ozark, Mark.
It did come in the best part of the track. I hate backing horses that are bias assisted, because even though they might do really well and they look impressive, you just don't know how much they were aided by that bias. So
Well, squeezed out at the 200.
look, I like it. I mean, I've got it favourite, but it's if it blew in the betting, I'd probably want to be against it, and if it firmed, I'd rather take a shorter price and be on it for more. That's the
Right,
sort
so
of
you
horse.
want some affirmation
Yeah, I
about
want
that?
some affirmation about it.
All these big words.
Is Agent Door totally hopeless?
It's got Kathy on it now.
Yeah,
So it's totally hopeless.
it's totally hopeless. Look, I think Nick Tock is well under the price it should be, as is
You've got the power of the Gord there, so you'll have to see how we go there.
our, what is it?
Akasaki.
Yeah.
The winner, the scone winner. Yeah.
It's short too, I think, and difficult to get, I think, is short. So it's maybe Ozark.
Okay, Glenn. Well, Gord obviously not here, but you can see Gord 3 times a week normally.
If you can put up with him 3 times a week, I have to put up with him twice a week, and that's tough going. But if you want to get involved with us here at Racing Rant, email Mark. There's always a couple of weeks for free, and if you probably want another couple, we look after you again. So we're about looking after punters, getting out great information at a very, very reasonable, cheap price, and all our members are super, super happy, which is I can promise.
Well, okay, so you get 2 city sets from me a week. You get
two of me.
2 mounting yard mails a week, at least. And then you've got the Saturday Brisbane mounting yard mail and the Saturday Melbourne set from a very good man, John Walters. So there's a lot of product, and there's also 4 videos a week. So
Come and have a look. That's the key. Come and have a look, and if you can even send us a dirty, filthy email telling us how much you hate us, and we would read that one out too, because we read out all our emails because we appreciate all of them.
we love criticism. So
Love it. Anyway, let's get going. See ya.
Cheers.